Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and in this video, we are going to make another fantastic keto candy bar slash fat bomb. Now, I've kind of teased at this recipe ever since I released my candied toffee almonds, which I will link to right up there. Not only does this recipe use that, it also uses blanched almond butter. Now, if you want, you can use regular almond butter. But if you want to use blanched, I would recommend not buying it, but rather making it yourself and saving about 80%. I'll link to a video on that in the end card on this video. Additionally, I use this 6-cavity silicone mold to make my candy bars. I will put the Amazon link down below in the description, but I want you to be aware that the price on this varies radically. I've seen it as low as $10, I've seen it as high as $26. Don't pay $26 for this. If you're dying to make this and you don't have one of these molds, look around, see if you can find a different mold cheaper. But if it gets down in that $10 to $15 range, I would call that a good price. Not only is this mold great for candy bars, but I suspect it's probably going to be the mold that I use when I perfect my hot dog bun recipe. But with that out of the way, let's make some candy bars. We'll start by taking our mold and putting a tablespoon of our almonds in each cavity. In total, that's about 60 to 65 grams. And let's give it a little bit of a shake, get it fairly uniform, and then we'll set this aside while we get our chocolate going. I recommend using a double boiler. I'm just using one pot with some nice little pory type edges over another pot. This allows you to control the temperature a lot better and keeps you from potentially scalding anything. We'll start with 1/2 cup of sugar-free milk chocolate chips. This can be Lily's, this can be Chalk Zero. If you like Chalk Zero, I will include a link for 10% off from their site. That's like 10% less than Amazon in the description below. Then we'll add 6 tablespoons of almond butter. And for really sticky stuff, I kind of recommend one of these variable measuring cups right here. So I can just plunge this right off. Look at that, nice and tidy. Did I mention that was also 90 grams? We'll bring up the heat and stir until melted. If the chocolate is still looking a little bit thick, you can add a tablespoon or 15 milliliters of MCT oil to thin it out a bit. I wound up adding a 2nd tablespoon of MCT oil to get this nice and smooth. And if you want to add a little bit more toffee flavor, you can add a squirt of English toffee stevia drops. I think I'm going to do that. Stir that in. And then we'll divide evenly between our molds. Then I'll use a butter knife and just sort of drag it back and forth a little bit to make sure my almonds get all incorporated and that the chocolate gets into every nook and cranny. Then I'll give this just a couple of little taps on the counter to make sure everything settles. You can see some little air bubbles popping up that now are going away. I think we're good. This is going to go off into the freezer for probably the next half hour to hour, and then we're going to be ready to have some candy bars. It has been right about an hour, so I'm going to pop these guys out of the mold. Should have been a little bit more gentle on that one. Now the taste test. I'm going to eat the one that I broke. Very good, and certainly not too sweet. This is a grown-up candy bar right here. So one thing to be aware of with these candy bars, because of the MCT oil and the almond butter, these are not going to be stable at room temperature. They'll probably be fine in the fridge. If you really want to make sure that they don't melt at all on your fingertips, I'd recommend keeping them in the freezer. They also come in at 4 net grams of carbs, so essentially the same as like a keto bar or a pack of keto cookies. But I'll include all of the macros, along with the printable recipe, down in the video description below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber already, why not? Hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified whenever I release a new video, tap that bell and select all notifications. Finally, if you'd like to help support the Serious Keto Test Kitchen, click that join button and see what membership options are all about. Thanks for watching.